Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jesse, and happy Valentine's Day! I hope you're feeling the love today. If not from someone, then hopefully from yourself. Love yourself, my dudes. Today, I'm going to be doing a bit of a vlog moment, and I'm going to be reading one of the most unhinged romance novels that I have ever come across. Now, obviously, I haven't read it, so I'm not sure that it's actually going to fit under the unhinged category, but the concept alone, unhinged. And the book itself is literally called Unhinged. How many times will I say unhinged throughout this video? Let me break this down for you. This is about a door falling in love with a human. It's an erotic door romance. Unhinged, right? I stumbled across this one day and it was one of those situations where like the curiosity got the best of me. Like I hear about a book with a wild concept like this and it's not a pass situation for me. It's a get in my cart and let's go situation. I've been sitting on this book for a while, not physically, obviously sitting on it, in case I needed to clear that up for you. I've had it for a minute and now just seems like the right time to read it. It's basically Valentine's Day. I'm not filming this on Valentine's Day, but like I'm posting it on Valentine's Day, so it's gonna be my Valentine's Day read. So we're gonna do a little unhinged reading vlog moment. I'm gonna read all of this today. It's only 82 pages long, so it should be pretty easy to knock out. And I'm going to be spoiling everything that happens within this book, so if there is the chance that like you do want to read this book, go read it before watching this video. Also be aware of the fact that like I'm reading an erotic door romance, so if that makes you uncomfortable, don't watch this video. But if you don't care about being spoiled, if you don't care about the eroticness of it, then I will fill the ins and outs for you. I'm gonna be updating you as I go. Let's get started. I just got myself some Valentine's Day boba. The cup is a heart. How cute is that? Let's crack into it and give it a taste. That is delicious. Brown sugar milk tea. That is gonna have me bouncing off the walls, baby. This book is so unserious and I love it for that. Like, I don't love the story itself, but like just how unreal it is. I'm so into it. It's so much fun. It's ridiculous and I love it. What we know so far, there is a door that somehow has human emotions. I will explain that in a second. And he has basically fallen in love with his apartment resident, Tana. Mr. Door, that's what I'm gonna call him. That's his name now. Mr. Door witnesses this guy named Randall who is super creepy take this girl into the woods, and he never sees the girl ever again, but he does see Randall again. Randall just so happens to be the apartment superintendent, and he's super shady and super creepy, and apparently he smells bad because the door can like pick up on people's scents when they knock on the door and whatnot. So it's not too hard to pick up on what possibly went down there. The police come around and are questioning everybody within the apartment complex, trying to get to the bottom of this, trying to find out information on the missing girl and seeing if anybody knows anything. Let's dig into it. First up, the fact that Tana lives in apartment complex 69. Come on now. Come on now. Like, let's be so for real right now. This is one of those books where when you're reading it, you're both disturbed and also like completely hooked because of just how unreal and ridiculous it is. Like there's just something about it that's just like so addictive. Like just the door's perspective itself is wild.
It might have been the first time she'd laid her soft fingertips on the cool brass of my knob. The day she first toured the apartment, I faithfully guarded. The care she always took sliding the key into my lock. She tried to enter and never tried to force her way beyond a sticky catch in the deadbolt. The bliss I felt when she'd press her cheek to my painted surface, peering through the peephole to ensure her food delivery person was actually who they claimed to be. Once I got carried away by the press of her... I'm gonna use a code word here. Once I got carried away by the press of her... armrest as she rose on tiptoe to look through the peephole, her t-shirt whispering against my flat back. I couldn't hold back my deadbolt, which slid free with excitement at the touch of her soft cheeks. The thought of that warmed me down to my threshold. Like, this is so ridiculous and I'm so here for it. I feel like the mystery aspect itself is so silly because I feel like it's going to play out in the way that we expect it to play out. Like, I would be so shocked if she does bring in some kind of shocking element. Like, if she throws in a plot twist, I will be here for it because, like, I can't imagine it not just, like, playing out in the way that we expect it to. Like, Randall is obviously behind the missing woman. The target is on his back. Of course he did it. But I'm sure that Tana is also going to somehow find her way involved with Randall in some kind of way. Like, maybe Tana is his next target. Like, I'm sure that that's, like, what it's kind of leading into. If this book is able to, like, bring in some kind of shock factor, I will be here for it. I will be excited about it. I will say that I feel like the door undermines Tana's abilities to read people because he is so often just being like, I must protect Tana from this creep. I must be her knight in shining armor. She has no idea how creepy Randall is.
And it's like, one, you're a door, and two, the way that Randall is described, like, I can assure you that Tana knows that Randall is a creep and that Randall cannot be trusted. The author gives us background lore on the door, and when I tell you, it is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Like, I cannot even. We've got ourselves a little bit of a Greek mythology moment happening here. In the night, there's a storm, and this mysterious guy approaches the door and starts having a conversation with him, and is basically like, I'm your daddy, and it just so happens to be a Greek god. The Greek god in question is Zeus, but listen to this, okay? We're gonna go through this. Okay, this is Zeus talking to the door. The thing is, you're made of solid oak. That's one of my sacred trees. I'm told that apparently an acorn from my grove across the ocean made it here, grew up into a big strong oak, and was felled to use for, well, this. There's a pretty decent chance you may be, you know, my son, of sorts. See, a lot of things happen in that grove that... I can't even say this with a serious face. A lot of things happened in that grove, and there was this perfectly positioned knothole on this really sexy tree, and the mead was flowing freely. You're telling me Zeus did the dirty with a tree, sir? Excuse me. So basically the door itself is half dryad, which explains like why it has like human emotions. And the door is given permission by Hera to enter Tana's dreams and basically convince her to set him free. Y'all, I cannot even with this book. Like, I knew it was going to be ridiculous going into it, but like the lore behind the door, I can't. I am so intrigued to see where this goes from here. I will keep you updated with my thoughts. I'm back for an update. We just had the dream sequence where we follow Mr. Door into one of Tana's dreams. Of course, in the dream, Tana is like fully nude, because of course that would happen. It appears she's having one of those like embarrassing dreams where like you're the only one completely unclothed and everybody else around you is clothed. I've been there. Those dreams are not fun, especially when you wake up after them, like you just feel stressed. Why do our brains cause us to have those dreams? That's my question. Like, what benefit am I getting out of this dream? All I'm getting is stress. I don't need that. It's kind of fun because in the dream, Mr. Door is taking on a human form. Even though it is like a dream scenario where it's not real, he's still having to like adjust and process to being a human now, being in a human form. Walking is hard for him. Communicating is difficult. It comes out a little bit awkward, a little bit cringy. It's very telling that he has picked up on how to communicate with people by watching Tana's TV, because just the way he talks. Why do you seem so familiar? Who are you?
I have no name but yours, Tana. I am your faithful guardian and protector. Nothing more, nothing less. I am your door, and I love you.
Boy is coming on strong. Not them just meeting and him already being like, I love you, Tana, I love you. He thinks about Tana in a way where he just assumes that she's going to reciprocate his feelings. Meanwhile, she doesn't even know he exists. I mean, she knows she has a door, but what she doesn't know is that it has thoughts and feelings, especially these thoughts and these feelings. He keeps calling her my Tana, and it's just like, bro, no. She's not yours. You do not own her. And just because you're her door, it doesn't mean she's gonna fall in love with you. But I mean, I know that that's gonna be the situation. Like, I would be dumb to think that like they're not gonna end up together by the end of this little novella. Oh, there goes my bookmark. We know what's gonna happen. We know they're gonna end up together. And yet still, I'm not a fan of the way that he talks about her and the fact that he is like, my Tana, I love you. You're mine. I'm your guardian. I'm your protector. I get that like he doesn't know social cues. I get the fact that like he's a freaking door, but I am still over here cringing. I need to cool off. Cool off the cringe. He's trying to communicate what he needs her to do with him in order to set him free, and boy is just like digging himself a grave. And it just like made me melt, and not a good kind of melt.
We must be together in the way that you are with your shivering blue stick.
My favorite thing ever is him being like, I don't understand why she's so upset. Why is she reacting like I'm a creep or something? Meanwhile, he's been watching her do some things he shouldn't have been watching. Tana's out here asking the same questions that I'm asking. Wait, is my bedroom door watching me too? Are you all freaky pressboard pervs? I feel like I was not very clear in explaining what she has to do in order to set him free, but basically, Tana, our girl, has to do the dirty with the door in order to set him free. So, I don't even know what that's gonna look like. I'm a little concerned. Doesn't seem very hygienic, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see what happens. At the end of this section, though, Randall has been back to his sus ways. He got into Tana's apartment when she was out of it, and he emptied an entire pill bottle into her juice, shook it up, and put it back in her fridge, which has me on edge. And then he also, like, tries to steal some of her panties, but it backfires. He doesn't realize that it backfired, but, like, he didn't end up leaving the apartment with the panties. The panties are on the ground, and Tana ends up coming back, sees the panty, starts to spiral a little bit, because in the dream, the door's like, Randall's been stealing your panties. You know those panties that you've been looking for? Randall's got them. We see Tana chug some wine and begin to approach the door, which I assume means she's going to do the deed. You catch what I'm dropping, which I don't even really fully understand how it's gonna happen, but I will read. I will not probably report back with all the details, but I'll keep you updated. Surprising me, she lurched forward and squeezed the trigger on the bottle, suddenly dousing my knob in a mist of cool, tinkling liquid that made me groan inwardly with pleasure at the sensation. I'm passing away. I will in fact never be able to look at a door the same way again. Thank you so much, Unhinged. I chose this for myself though. I'm at fault here. Update time before I take a break because I need to either go stare at a wall or go to church and ask God for forgiveness for what I just read. So Tana does end up doing the dirty with the door. And I'm still processing that scene, to be honest. Ah! And to her surprise, the door does in fact turn into a guy. She panics and freaks out at first because after doing the dirty with the door, she decides to go and take a shower. And when she comes back, there's just this guy standing there without anything on. And all that has really happened since is that they work on getting a new door for the apartment. They make a name for him. His new name is Driss. And then we have this moment where Driss is being just like so heartfelt and reflective. No one wanted to be replaced after all. And here I was staring right at my replacement. One that I'd encouraged, no less. I'd proudly been Tana's door for a long time, but the time was right to transition into being something more. Her protector, her guardian. My mind wandered into a lustful flashes of memory at the way her blah 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 blah. I can't say what he says there because but he's like having this reflective moment and then he just becomes a horn dog. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break, have dinner, cleanse my thoughts, and then I will get back to this trash. I finished the book. Let me give you a rundown of all the things that happened at the end. It was a little crazy. There was one thing that I was not expecting. Did I like that element? No. But let's talk about it. First, we have some generic happenings. They go to the store and buy some clothes for Driss, and I feel like they're honestly like that annoying couple that you just see out in public all over each other, and it's like, that's really nice. I'm glad that you like love each other and that like you feel you can be super affectionate. I love that for you. But like, can we not put it on display for all to see, please? There are children around here, okay? They continue worrying about Randall. Then we have a bedroom moment. In The Sims, we call it woohoo. Their woohooing gets interrupted by Randall. He comes barging through the door, which I'm like, didn't we get the door in order to be more safe? To be safe from Randall? And he literally just like barges in, knocks the door down. So like, so much for that new protective door. Randall and Driss end up in a kerfuffle and Randall shoots Driss. And when he shoots Driss, Driss ends up turning back into a door. Driss is like gone unconscious, but eventually he wakes back up and he is in his door form. But we learn that Randall got charged with murder, which is good. We've gotten Randall taken care of. He's been dealt with. And then we have another Tana doing the dirty with the door moment. And what do you know? She brings Driss back to his human form. This book, what an adrenaline rush. I will never look at a door the same. And we've reached the end of the video. That is it for my Unhinged reading vlog. It was quite the experience. I knew what I was getting myself into with this book, so I think that that's why I enjoyed it so much. Like, it was just a fun time. I'm not going to be like rating it a 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I'm even going to rate this book, to be honest, because like it's just not a book that I feel like needs to be rated. It was just here to deliver a wild time, and that's exactly what it did. I will take that and move on with my life. I really enjoyed doing this. I know that this book is like not something that I would normally read and not something that I would normally talk about on this channel, but like, I love fun books like this. Like every now and then, these are fun to read. So I'm definitely gonna do some research and try to find more books like this, more books that are just completely unhinged, more unhinged books. If you have any recommendations for me, drop them down below in the comments. But I wanna hear from you guys about this vlog. How did you feel about it? How did you feel about this book? What do you think? Would you be interested in reading this book, or was my recap of it enough for you? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you wanna see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, yo!